From their Grammy award-winning album Saint Elsewhere, that is the group Gnarls Barkley, Danger Mouse on production, and CeeLo Green on vocals and songwriting for a song called The Last Time. And it has, although we kind of missed it, it has at the beginning or at the end of the song, it has the sound of film rolling. And so I thought that was appropriate to share with you all as we step into this week's edition of Reelblack Radio. We are not out in the public and broadcasting live from other spaces. We are here in studio, and Mike D has now joined us. How are you today, sir?
I'm excellent, Stephanie Renee.
I see you got on your Make Black Film hat, so you are in the zone.
That's an official exclusive. Yeah. If you like it, let me know. I'll get them pressed up, and we'll have them for next season.
Nice.
But I just at Black Star, I want to make a statement that as we go into this is the first Black Star festival after Black Panther. It's the first.
Yes, it is.
Post Black Panther and
WakandaCon is happening in Chicago this weekend.
Yeah, we invest a little bit too much. Where is Wakanda? Where and did I get paid from that? Who's I have to get the Charles did a whole thing like the origin of the name Wakanda. It was originally in a Tarzan movie. It was a city that was in a Tarzan book. So
interesting.
Now it's not Ryan Coogler or whatever, but they basically regurgitated a Tarzan name into the comic strip.
Oh yeah, well that doesn't make it so as empowered as you are with this. Wakanda forever. Yes.
You still, if anybody, Edgar Rice Burroughs should get a check on that. But just a factoid. But
that's an important fact for people to know, just and understand as much as we love it, that it has some fairly racist roots. So might take away from it slightly.
I just empowerment. If that's what we're preaching, then we just just get 10%. Can I get a little taste? To quote Carol O'Connor, like if I'm helping to create this for you and I'm making you a wealthy person, can I have some assurances? And it's so I'm like so everybody's riding the wave at Black Star, and that's great. Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of people are coming into their success and they have an optimism about it that they're being recognized, and we're going to have somebody call in at the 12:30 mark that has a film in tomorrow. But and we can discuss it further. But so I'm on that wave. I'm cautiously optimistic. I'm positively cynical. So I'm trying to temper.
I was going to say those who listen to the show on a regular basis aren't surprised by that admission.
I'm trying to stay positive. everybody's coming into another realm of their success, and things are growing, and every day there's a deal and all that kind of stuff. But I know who's cutting the check. So the same day Fast Company says Netflix has made an $8 billion investment in the content for this year, and that they're looking to have more religious and faith-based work. The same day that they published that article, it's announced that they're pulling the Farrakhan documentary off Netflix. Like they made a deal to put his documentary about the making of his album. It has Common and like Frankie Beverly's like after like a decade, Mr. Farrakhan announced that he was going to put out the 7-disc limited edition box set of his violin.
7-disc?
Yeah, it's hopefully it ends up on Spotify or somebody will take it, because I ain't got $300 to drop on this thing.
7 discs. So is this famous speeches along with this new recorded content?
Well, there are people that know more than I do, but apparently
how much material could he have for 7 discs unless it's going back and giving us full speeches? No, he's not speaking. He's a violinist. 7. I need you to film me, Mike, because we listen to a lot of music too. 7 discs worth of Farrakhan playing violin and contemporary artists collaborating with him. 7 at one time.
Yeah, and a making of documentary that was supposed to be on Netflix, but at the last minute they said it was a misunderstanding and they're not going to show it. So, it leads me. But yeah, I'm curious. Maybe we can get one song or a single, a lyric video or something.
I have 2 box sets of Motown's greatest hits from the 50s through the 90s. And that might have been 7 discs.
Okay.
7 discs worth of material is a whole lot of freaking music.
But Minister Farrakhan is his lifetime body of musical work. What you're judging it before you even hear it. It could be.
I'm just saying.
It could be up there with Stravinsky.
That's a whole lot of material.
It's a big buy-in for sure. You gotta and he's not signing these limited editions or nothing. It's like there's a chance that it's gonna end up in some garage sales down the road, or it could be one of those things. It's like, wow, this is amazing. How did you get that? Like the Prince. When he did the box set, I have the darn thing, the crystal ball box set. Yeah. Like that's actually valued in some places, but
that's like the 10 gigs worth of Michael Jackson music released, some previously unreleased, but mostly rare recordings that I got after he passed, and some of that stuff might eventually find its way onto disc. A lot of it will not.
Well, listen,
the RIAA has been studying me.
Anybody listening,
I ration it out on my podcast.
Like I'm not FOI or anything, but anybody listening and they dropped 300 on the Farrakhan box set and limited edition, and they upload it. I think you're risking the wrath of God if he finds out that you bootleg his 7 discs. And anybody on the street selling that documentary ahead of Netflix or whatever, they're probably actually helping.
Now I'm hella curious to find out if Farrakhan's going to return to some of his calypso roots on any of these tunes.
Yeah, he was a calypso artist.
He was a calypso singer, complete with the fluffy sleeves.
Well, he brings that music. There's actually on YouTube, if people look, there's like when they used to stand out in front of the Michaud bookstore, and speech. They had. Like, I guess you could say Farrakhan was the opening act for Malcolm X, right? And his big claim to fame prior to the takeover was he did the trial of the white man. So he said, we indict the white man for this. We invite, and he bring everybody up and he say, we find them guilty. And that was like the big thing. And they say, all right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, now Malcolm X. And then he come out for like 2 hours, 3 hours, 5 hours.
Well, listen, I am curious to hear some of it.
You just don't have the time investment.
I just cannot imagine 7 discs worth of material at one time. For someone who has made his part, parcel, and trade of his prominence in the community from speeches of accountability and reconciliation and everything else, to now say, I'm dropping 7 discs worth of music, and just think that there's going to be an automatic market for that. I'm just curious to the thought process.
I'd say it's a tad ambitious. I mean, I'm sure marketing wise, they say limited edition, but they don't say to how many copies.
Yeah.
And we are talking CDs. I mean, it reminds me even back in the day, like in the 70s, 80s, you could buy an encyclopedia set. But they had the people that making it, they knew well enough. You could get them at the supermarket, but you have to come every week, right?
Right.
And like every week you pay like $3 and you get a volume.
Yes.
I have so many friends that like missing like volumes. Like you go to their house and you see the encyclopedias and like missing JK.
We used to get them mailed to us because my family was always about having a current set of encyclopedias in the house, but they would mail them. And I tell you, my mom was also Literary Guild and Book of the Month Club. So, the whole idea of getting a big thick book in an envelope at the front door once a month. We were already in the practice.
Well, God bless you if you could get every single volume and it was the same color, because I know people like some of these people I know that are missing like volumes, like it affects their mentality later. Like you just realize they don't know certain things because they missed
certain letters weren't there.
So big ups to Mr. Farrakhan. He's allowing people the opportunity to get it all the music at once. So if you don't know it, it's not because he didn't make the effort. But you people trying to get your knowledge piecemeal, trying to get your enlightenment piecemeal, and then coming in and messing things up for us, so.
Well, I'm going to say there's some precedent to a proliferation of material, because I jokingly, talked about Kamasi Washington, and I let people know that 3 days after he released a double set, he released a 5-song EP.
Wow.
Now, but it's all, I'm a fan, so I appreciate it, but I was just laughing at the idea that we talk about the quality of some of this material as it's released into the world, and he had enough that he was happy with that he could put it on a double disc and then turn around and go, well, these didn't quite make, you know, when you think about the flow of it, it didn't quite make it onto the double set. But I think y'all should hear these too. So he didn't wait.
He didn't wait like Kendrick like a year. Here's the outtakes. He just said, here it is. Here it is.
But I enjoyed some of those outtakes from Kendrick. I gotta admit.
Like, yeah, well, it's excellent. I mean, you know, it's curated, but it's sort of like when people like say, drop a whole bunch of food at your doorstep at one time. Say, here's like a month's worth of food. You can't. It'll go bad first. So, you know, but people, they need, like when there was a record industry, people saw the release dates in the street and they said it was kind of orchestrated in a sense, almost like the movies are. Like every week there's going to be, no one's going to compete against one another in terms of like the audience's attention. It's not even about money. And then I think what changed it was when they decided, it was like WWF, when Kanye and 50 Cent said, we're going to release our album on the same day, and whoever wins, they kick the other person out of show business. Like if I sell more records, then you can't make any more records. So I think Kanye won that thing. And
I'm sure he did.
That was fun, but it was only 2 CDs you had to buy at Best Buy that week. Right?
Okay.
But now it's like, you know, Kanye puts a record out and then Drake has one the next week, and then Jay-Z and Beyonce, they put one out secretly. And it's overwhelming amount of data. And then the way they do it, the algorithm is all about trying to get as many of the songs streaming in the top 10 now, as opposed to pushing one song for people to listen to. So
But that was also predicated. So this new culture that we have of how people are releasing material is now freed by 2 very important factors. One is that everything doesn't have to come out on Tuesdays anymore. That was a convention that allowed shipping to make the everything arrive at the record stores, retail stores over the weekend. So they would have Saturday and Monday to get everything properly labeled and on the shelf. Right. So Tuesday was the official release date for these albums.
Days. I worked at Tower. I had that gun.
Yeah, man. And so that no longer is the case. So people release it whenever they feel like it. Yeah. And the other part of this is that we have become a nation of downloaders and streamers, so that there is no compulsion for people. You know, the industry went so long with making so many bad, empty albums, and people were disappointed at paying retail for $16 for a brand new disc that had 2 songs that anybody liked. And so at this point, it's about how many songs you can get people to listen to show that it's actually a quality project, and that people will continue to listen to them streaming, and they just choose the album and they keep listening to it. Otherwise, you got to put it on a playlist. There may be some truth to that, but I think that everybody is just being fed. You're just feeding people's addiction when you give them constant intake of information. It's no longer entertainment, it's information. Like here's more stuff, and regulating it, I think is better. Here's what you should pay attention to, as opposed to like, here's 20 songs you got to listen to. It's okay. So I think we're probably going to agree to disagree on this, because I do not understand the compulsion with the streaming culture, and why there's now talk of even phasing out digital downloads, like buying albums on iTunes and Amazon Prime, right, because so many people just want to access the music and stream it. I want it, so that I can listen to it the way I want to listen to it, when I want to listen to it, and not depend on Wi-Fi signals or other ways to access the music. But it has allowed us, if we so choose, to now listen to the whole albums again, which most people were not doing. The people skim through it 30 seconds in. If I like it or I don't like it, I choose the song or songs that I want to listen to. I ignore the rest of it. And streaming allows you to pull up the album and just put it on. So whether it's background music while you're working or these other things, people are listening to whole albums again. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
No, I don't. I just it's just one of the trade-offs in terms of, you say, democratizing things. You say you want to have the control, the power of manufacturing. But when people don't communicate, I mean, like Kanye and Drake, they have each other on speed dial. One of at least coordinate. Like, hey, this is gonna be Kanye Tuesday, and then next Friday we're going. Like at least like tell one another. Don't have people like just spinning around. I mean, we just put up this video. Is the massage the medium is the massage, and it's talking about technology in 1967 now, and it's just saying like we become the old medium takes over, the new medium takes over the ideals of the old medium, but then it's faster, and then we internalize it. And I just feel that where we are now as human beings, as basic carbon-based organisms, you know, over those 50 years, they've programmed it so well, where advertising, all the sensory stuff that we're being hit with and we're addicted to, is operating on our subconscious level much faster than our consciousness is able to process it. And I just feel that it's not that I say you should throttle the bandwidth, but at the same time, I think that it's just too much information. It's too much. I mean, everything is marketed to our desire to have more and more, as opposed to when you went out, you had to, and it sound like an old fogey. When you went out and you actually had to spend your own money to buy a record, you appreciated the experience better, and it sustained longer within you.
And in a global market, the lengths that like our cousins on the continent of Africa used to go through to get to a major city in order to buy it, and that built some of this synergy between what was happening with Afrobeat and other forms of African music, and how they were being influenced by the soul movement here in the United States. There's a lot, but so, we got a caller on the line, and we got to take a break. Okay. So because you have our next guest calling in shortly, so let's speak to Jeff, and then we take our break. How you doing today, Jeff?
Hey, what's going on, you two?
Good. How are you?
Hey, Jeff.
So you got Kanye and Good Music barely putting 7 songs on one album, and you got Farrakhan putting out
7 discs, exactly.
Well, and Drake putting out two CDs worth of music. Yeah, it's a lot. It's overwhelming.
I got a movie and I got a show for you too. The show is Who is America by Sacha Baron Cohen.
Love it. I love that show.
You have seen it or talked about it, but I love that show.
Brilliant.
And I just want to see if y'all can speak on it a little bit more. And then the movie, sorry to bother you, man. I just watched that on Tuesday. It was a great movie. It is just so much in there, man.
Yeah.
It just gets so weird. So I'm going to let y'all speak on it. I'm at work. I'm listening to y'all, but, I love what y'all do. So.
Indeed. We appreciate you, Jeff. Thanks for the call. Well, I haven't seen the Sacha Baron Cohen, so you can start with that.
I watched the first 2 episodes. I thought it was brilliant. I mean, this is, for those who don't know, Sacha Baron Cohen is the guy behind Borat, Ali G, and he does a lot of pranks. His whole claim to fame is getting dressing up in a character and then pranking people with dumb questions. But he takes it to a whole nother level with the right wing on This Is America. I just think, and a lot of it, you could even watch
Sarah Palin was not happy.
Yeah, I mean the way he gets people just to just say things, it's just powerful. What links this one guy? He's a politician in Georgia, and he literally had this guy pull his pants down.
Yep, I heard about it. I haven't seen it, but I heard about it.
But again, going back to the half-life of information, that would have ruined anybody else back in another time, and now it's sort of okay, within the news cycle, it's nothing. And so I would recommend checking that out. And then sorry to bother you, we had Boots Riley interviewed, a brilliant artist, filmmaker, aggregator, agitator, and I recommend everybody.
Former hip-hop MC
of the coup, And yeah, I applaud that movie and Blind Spotting, which is also in theater. The Bay Area is on fire.
Shout out to David Diggs.
The Bay Area is on fire.
He's my cousin in my head.
They're the first. We're talking about black film. That's the first region where I've actually seen independent work come out that's not homogenized into trying to look like a Hollywood film.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and I'm excited about Gin, which is going to be at the festival, Black Star Festival this week. But I know.
We do have to take a break, but we just want to say sorry to bother you. For anybody who has heard about it, is planning to see it, understand it's surreal. So do not go in thinking you're going to see typical crime drama or some of the other ways that we tend to take in, especially summer films, that we have sort of an expectation that it's going to be straight ahead, kind of mind candy.
It's meta. You let it wash over you.
Yeah.
And you relate what you're watching to your own experience.
It's very over the top. but the messaging, it's very layered and very chock full of, hopefully you walk out of the theater questioning how you might have bought into some of the mentality that's being sold to the main character about how to be successful. And, you know, just what that takes out, what it demands of you, what it takes out of you, ultimately, and if you participate very actively in your own oppression.
Without question. Very important film, and it's in theaters now. But go to Black Star this weekend.
Yes, and we'll talk a whole lot more about Black Star on the other side of the break.
Ciara's up next. Thanks.
I can fly, I can fly, I can fly.
So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have heard me encourage you over and over again that live performances are something I treasure, because you will never hear the same song the same way when artists are really dedicated to the live performance. And Raul Midon is one of those artists that will serve it up to you in beautiful ways on live performances each and every time. But Daytrotter is an organization that collects acoustic performances or scaled down performances of some of your favorite artists as they're crisscrossing the nation on tour. And this was recorded in Austin, Texas in March of last year at a studio called Same Sky Productions. Raul Midon will be here just across the bridge on Sunday afternoon for free in Wiggins Park in Camden. I do not have the start time of that performance, but please look up the information. If you have never been blessed to see him live, then this is an opportunity for you to do so absolutely free this weekend in Philadelphia. And as long as the weather holds up, it should be a wonderful time among family and friends. And there's a lot going on here in Greater Philadelphia this weekend, for sure.
There's a conflict of interest. I don't know what to do on Sunday. Go see Raul Midon, be at Black Star, because at 2:30 our next guest film plays, or take an hour to clean all the melted cocoa butter out of my drink cup in the car. I didn't know it was going to get so hot.
It's always hot in the car, Mike.
I went in there. I had a panic attack. This stuff leaked all over the place. The last week I've been handing the people to drive through change, and it all smells all cocoa butter. And they be looking at me.
They think you're flirting.
I'm sorry. It's like it'll be $3.58. I'll be pulling these pennies out, and I'm sorry. I got to rub this off. You have a napkin. It's been a hot summer.
It has been warm, especially the last week. But I will leave it to you to introduce our next
Cierra
guest,
Glaudé,
who is one of the filmmakers presenting at this 7th annual Black Star Film Festival.
I have to introduce Cierra. So I love Cierra, first off. Right? So anything I say, don't be offended. We know each other well enough that she'll hit me later. But I want us to have fun. So when I need new cocoa butter, Cierra Glaudé, where should I pick some cocoa butter up? What stores are good for this?
I don't know nothing about Philly, really. You probably gonna have to go to New Orleans in the French Quarter. There's a lady down there that got some really nice whipped shea butter.
Whipped shea butter.
I got some shea butter and tea tree oil mixed up. I could always bring you some down the street later.
I can't.
Mike is forever ashy, Cierra, so he'll need it.
I can't get any at the local convenience store. Say a Wawa.
I mean, I just got acquainted with a Wawa. I thought it was like an Asian so I had no idea it was a convenience store. So
yeah, Sierra's from L.A.
They butter from there.
Lower Alabama.
Yes.
They don't even have 7-Elevens in L.A.
We don't. The convenience stores, but no, we don't.
I'm trying to get you to say the name of the store, Cierra. I think it's so sweet.
7-Eleven.
Replay that.
Yeah, we ain't got no 7-Elevens down there.
Thank you. You made my day. All right, now you can sell your movie. Last Looks, Sunday, 2:30 at Black Star. Everybody needs to go there. Let folks know about the films.
So the film it's a nice little 10-minute watch. It's starring Rutina Wesley. Most of y'all know her as Nova from Queen Sugar. Mm-hmm. I also got my cousin, who's my lead guy in there, and just a bunch of other people from New Orleans that rock with me, and I rock with them. So yeah, it's a short film about a woman that does her brother's makeup. during a transition, and it's not like the typical like LGBT transition that people may think. It's a little bit more deep than that. But you know, that's one of the things you just got to check out, because I done already told y'all more than I tell half of it.
Well, you're among family, but that's just a teaser for why people need to come out and see this as a program of shorts that is going to be airing on Sunday. And of course, Mike showed
2:30 p.m.
It's called Here On Out is the name of the shorts program. 2:30 p.m. on Sunday at the Pearlstein Gallery.
Yes.
Yes, for sure. And if y'all forget that, you know, you can always go online, go to Black Star Fest, and figure it out. If you happen to forget, we'll definitely pull up Sunday, get a little, you know, a little film watching in, a little Southern hospitality. I'll dazzle you with my country accent. That's what you like.
Well, I want you to bake us all cookies. And
I can do that. You had some of them cookies I had yesterday.
I saw them. You wouldn't give me a cookie. Meanie. He was like, I got some cookies. I said, did you bake them? She's like, yeah. I was like, oh, God.
Yeah. I be cooking, you know what I'm saying? So if anybody want me to pull up at their house and make some food, I just need y'all to provide the rain.
Yeah, you enjoying Philly and all that good stuff? Have you been here before?
I really like Philly. It's really cool. I'm not much of a city girl, but I definitely already can say that I like Philly more than I like New York.
Thank you.
It's just like too hectic for me. But no, it's nice out here. I dig it.
Nice. We'll talk a little bit about, you know, I love that you say, yeah, LA stands for Lower Alabama in your life. Talk about that kind of rural upbringing, what the Deep South has given you and what you bring into your filmmaking because of it.
Yeah, so I just feel like what my, you know, upbringing from down there gives me is I'm a people person, like, through and through. And so I feel like that's why I was called to be a director, is just because I feel like I can relate to and, like, tap in and drop in with people a little bit more easily than some folks can. I'm a hopeless romantic, so I'm like an empathizer. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I get people.
Yeah.
And one of the things I find most beautiful about people is just human complexity in general. So I was just raised, you know, I just love my folks. I love being down there on the water. And so, like, I don't know no strangers. So, you know, if you're around me, it's all love, it's all good energy. Because a big part of my disposition and what prompted me to shoot Last Looks was I lost my brother when I was 16. And so he died in a motorcycle accident. And I had my fair share of, like, anger problems and stuff before then, because my dad was doing stupid stuff in the family. But once I lost my brother, I was like, you know what? We ain't got time to be mad. We ain't got time for all that other stuff, because, like, you can literally be here 1 second and gone the next.
Yes, ma'am.
So that just put a lot of stuff in perspective for me. So just between, like, loving my people and the things that I've gone through, like losing my people, I just feel like, you know, people that come across me and come across my work, it just feels like homie. And, you know, I'm just like somebody's cousin, your girlfriend, your brother, your sister. Like, I'm just, you know, I just try to embody all of that.
No, I love
I'm
it.
the people's champ since 1991.
Well, I love. Well, talk about the change. Like, I see clearly there's a lot of doors opening, and you know, in the last few years, like I was saying earlier, this is the first Black Star post Black Panther.
Yeah. In
the last year, or even since February when the movie came out, I mean, what changes have you seen in terms of the attitudes and just opportunities among your fellow brethren filmmakers?
Everybody's just definitely they're going to get it more. They see that, you know, you don't have to wait for permission. That's the thing that Ava says a lot. I know you know, but, you know, everybody's listening don't know. I'm pretty cool with Ava, and she's helped me out since, like, around Selma. We've been working together since then. But she's always just been on me about, you know, just do it, just shoot it, just get it done.
Yeah.
She's real big on not asking for permission. And so, like, you know, like, this is like the Black Renaissance of film and stuff right now. And so, you know, people are just really, like, taking charge of their art and not worrying about, you know, who is, you know, you can shoot anything now. You can shoot on an iPhone, you can shoot whatever. So people are just being a lot more proactive about telling their stories and not, you know, worrying about, like, the white male film industry.
Right.
Like, you know, we bypassing all that and doing our own thing. So I just think that really just empower people to be like, hey, like, you can make and tell these things. And you might have to start small and build up, but damn, one day you're going to direct Black Panther.
Right.
Yeah, it happens very quickly.
Or a $100 million Disney movie.
Is that your goal, really? I'm just curious. That frightens me, you know, as you see the opportunities feed into the mainstream. I don't have any fear right now when I go see a Black Panther or Central Park 5, because I know the folks that are making the films now, they know what the struggle is. It's like a lot of folks are getting through the door now. They've been knocking on that door for 20 years.
Yeah.
And suddenly you have a convergence of where we're being commodified, where people, they're not afraid, and there are more people in power that can green light or at least say, let's take a chance on it. But you know, I just look at hip hop and music as always being 10, 15 years ahead of film. And I love everything that's happening now, but I'm just afraid that the next wave of people, if they don't have the right support or mentorship, they may be going in for the wrong reasons, or maybe they may not be as seasoned, and we end up with a cinematic equivalent of mumble rap in 15 to 20 years.
Yeah, facts. I mean, there's definitely already people out there that I see that they go buy, you know, a low-end camera and be like, I'm a videographer, I'm a cinematographer. And I'm like, no, you're just shooting
Preach.
camera mode. You know what I'm saying? And that drives me. Everybody that picks up, a camera thinks they're a photographer. But, like, no, it's, like, really levels to this.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that growing up in Mobile, Alabama. It took me to go to University of Alabama in Tuscaloosa to realize that, like, filmmaking was like an actual job. I didn't know nothing about composition. I didn't know nothing about the industry before then. So I was like, wait, this is like really a thing?
Yeah.
And so, you know, there's definitely always going to be people that do it for like the wrong reasons and like the clout, as, you know, my generation calls it now. And those people will easily like be weeded out because they're not going to be able to stick with it. They're not going to have the right energy. They're just going to get burnt out like super quick. But when you have people like me, I feel like that do it for the love. You know, it's just about telling our stories, and again, going back to the thing about my brother, like I've had like one of the most important people taken from me. So like nothing that this industry gives me can really dazzle me. People are always like, oh, you just chilling, you just, you know, talk about these bomb people on a first name basis like it's nothing. And I'm like, you know, they're regular people to me. They're my friends, yeah, they're my mentors, yeah, they're doing like really awesome things. But at the end of the day, like unless somebody can like resurrect this man from the dead, like all of this stuff is just whatever it is.
Yeah.
So as long as you're just out here like telling stories that you love and you believe in, and you know, helping other people see themselves in ways that they haven't before, you know.
Okay, I love you, Cierra. I'm gonna put you in check. You ain't buy your first car yet off that movie money. That's what's going on. You get that benzo, it's gonna switch up. You're gonna be.
I'm getting a boat.
That's from Lower Alabama. She will have much more use with a boat and feeding herself and getting around than she will with any kind of fancy car. I love the way you think, sis.
My little Jeep Renegade was my first thing. I'm getting on the water.
Yes, ma'am.
Some money. I'm gonna get a jet ski or a boat. I'm gonna ride out.
Well, when you get your coin, you got to invest in my new venture. I'm gonna just like print my own money and convince people to sell it. You know, it'd be like paper money. I'm with
whatever we can work out. You know.
Instead, Bitcoin, we call it Blackcoin.
No. Blackcoin. Hey.
Send me, and it's like Frederick Douglass.
Be the new wave. Hey, I seen an article recently that was talking about how, like, you know, Netflix got like laughed out of a meeting with like some other big network, and now Netflix is like way much more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
As long as you get that attitude, like, don't let nobody tell you that your black coin can't prosper.
I'm telling you. And this hat, you know, this is the limited edition original.
Yeah, he's wearing a hat that he made today. It says make black film.
Oh, she saw it.
Okay.
She saw it. Everybody saw it.
Black coin, that black star. Like started off small, little. Look, okay, we putting all of this.
All right, well, just stay black and keep last look Sunday 2:30.
That's right,
my friend. I'm so proud of you.
Indeed.
Don't lose. What is it, baby? Don't lose my number.
Oh my gracious, Cierra, we welcome you to the Black Family Reunion known as Black Star Film Festival, and we very much look forward to checking out your film on Sunday.
All right, so I appreciate you. If y'all see me, holler. Y'all can't miss me. My hair gonna be on the top of my head. I ain't nothing but this big. So holler when you see me. I'm gonna show you some love. I appreciate y'all.
Love you.
Absolutely.
Back.
Thank you so much.
I want a cookie. That's all I want. I'll trade you 8 black coins for 1 cookie.
I'm gonna make you some cookies, fam. I'm gonna catch you later.
I'm gonna send it to you via Venmo. It's just gonna be it'll be a text message saying you have 10 black coins, and then I expect at least 1 cookie.
I'm gonna do you better than one.
Okay.
You heard it here on Word Radio,
That's
ladies and gentlemen.
You see on my Instagram. If you see me with a cookie on Instagram on Sunday, then you know she's for real.
Oh, and while we're here, y'all should follow my Instagram. It's Shooter SH00TER. You know, you can follow all my country and my film shenanigans. And I also dropped a music video today with Asada Jones, so y'all go check that out. It's hot.
Nice.
Congrats. And if you can't make it, if you're like watching this late, you can go to Issa Rae's YouTube channel to see the film. It's not the same experience, but it was picked up by Issa Rae. So congrats on that. Last looks.
Yeah, you can't do that. You won't get to see and hug me. But
that's right.
If you can't, you know, I understand people got, you know, things to do. It's Sunday, family time, family dinner. I get it. Self-care Sunday. Check us out on Short Film Sunday if you can't make it to the fest. Either way, all greatly appreciated.
Yes, and indeed, being exposed to you, your personality, and your film is what we are thankful for on today's program. So we appreciate you calling in, Cierra.
Thank you so much for having me.
Cierra Glaudé.
Indeed.
From L.A.
We got Lower Alabama.
Where there's no 7-Elevens.
And we're going to take a quick break and come back and do the full Black Star rundown for you, for those of you who intend to meet me and Mike there at some point over the course of the weekend. So we'll be back to conclude this week's edition of Reelblack Radio right after this. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the Shelter mix of a collaboration between two dance music legends, Kenny Bobian and Ann Nesby, one of the former lead singers of the Sounds of Blackness. And the song is called Spread Love. And we want you to do that. There's no accident that many of us refer to Black Star Film Festival as the Black Family Reunion, contemporary style.
Without question, before we jump into that, I was that bouncy beat. It made me think of shout out to Lady Alma, who went viral globally.
Yes,
shook the planet up.
Well, I mean,
Instagram with the "Let It Rain."
I was gonna say because that's it definitely
it's fit in the rain.
Stop.
It's fit in rain.
No, fit in the rain.
Fin rain.
No,
Ving rain.
Fitna.
You know, it doesn't have to have a teeth. It's fit in the rain.
It's fit in the rain.
I'm sorry. I went to public school
during that break, ladies and gentlemen. Kayla J and I were trying to help Mike with his black vernacular.
Fin and rain.
Because he's trying to enunciate where it is not required.
Look, they didn't have that on Sesame Street.
You gotta think about it like when you say north.
That means you need to.
Morgan Freeman did not teach Finnan.
You need to know more people from the South. It wouldn't be such a struggle for you if you talk to them on a regular basis, because that's just how they talk. You absorb.
Now you open another can. Who's they? Who
Southern
are they?
black folk.
Oh, you actually have an answer to
Not
that?
just Southern black folk, Southern folk in general.
Yes.
Southern folk in general.
You are absolutely right.
Because you can talk to a lot of white folks down south, and they say, I'm finna go.
Those watching this later, the video on YouTube, please school me. Put all the Southern slang in there.
And just while we're talking about black vernacular and those who appreciate it, I hope those of you who might just pop into my page from time to time, then I hope you have been delighted by the videos that I post from my DC brother Crank Lucas, who has over the last couple of weeks, I posted 2 videos where he talks about when regular DC dudes become preachers. It is hilarious. Hilarious, because I'm all of the DC accent and local vernacular that I miss. Crank Lucas is an expert in, and he uses it like he's preaching a sermon, and it's super funny and wonderful.
Listen, we have to start making. We need a committee next year. We need to come up with some new words, because all the words are being commodified into pop culture.
I was going to say, by the time Trump says it or somebody else in elected office on Capitol Hill uses it, we let it go.
Okay, so it's officially been appropriated.
They take all the fun out of
when
it.
they say it's lit, we can't use that anymore.
No, we don't use lit anymore. No,
it's lit.
Nope,
it's over with.
It's over.
We need new words. So
speaking of over and video.
Yeah.
No, before we get into formal film,
okay,
I also posted on my page yesterday a clip from a very unfortunate middle-aged white woman who did not want to let a Black Lives Matter protest go by because she was determined she was going to make her way home. And she picked the wrong young sister to walk up to, snatch her sign, and rip it. As this white woman is ripping this child's sign, she put her dukes up and did a quick pow right in the mouth.
Wow. See, I don't advocate violence.
And then the woman went running to the cop. No. I do not advocate random violence. That woman asked for it. I bet you she won't go snatching nobody else's sign.
Because we were away for 4 weeks. The one. I don't even really think that people should be blasting on like civilians' mishaps on social media, but folks can't avoid it. It's like rap's getting caught in a trap. It's like, when that guy was at CVS and his hand was shaking, he should have just stopped. He should have said, all right, miss, I'll just take the coupon. I'll honor it.
I haven't seen that video. I heard about it, but I didn't see it.
Well, nowadays, when people, it's worse than a taser, or when people say, I'm going to film you, I'm going to put it all over social media, take that as a legitimate threat that your life is going to be ruined.
Yes.
Especially if you're Caucasian and you're being racist.
Yeah, exactly. You're out there acting foolish and think there will be no repercussions. Well, guess what?
People retweet that. They love that word when Bubblicious came out.
You're getting fired for being racist and unabashed about it. That's the thing. What did that woman think she was going to accomplish by trying to break through a rally and go up and snatch a young Black girl's sign? Chick, you were asking for trouble.
You know there are cameras there.
And the only reason she only got hit twice is because an older sister grabbed her and moved her back. That woman would have got a fair beat down that she asked for herself because she walked up and acted foolish. Yeah, repercussions.
Anybody, you don't want like a world star emblazoned over your photo. Like if there's a screen capture and it's like you, which like doing something and it says World Star over it, that's really bad. You don't want to be on that network.
Not at all. Well,
but yeah, so Black Star is the anti-World Star.
That's right.
And
quality film, quality short film, quality conversations, all happening this weekend.
And for those who've not been to Black Star and you decide to come, don't start no mess. Just live by the culture that has been cultivated over the last 7 years.
Absolutely.
By the people there. Don't think, oh, this is some Black stuff, and then show up and like mess up the Blackness. Like, it's like certain levels. There's obsidian, there's indigo, there's all kinds of levels. Just bring your vibration down to Black Star. Enjoy. Don't judge. Anything that's there is gonna be worth your time. Mr. Soul was there last night. You missed that, but
yeah.
Sierra's movie Saturday. Tonight, if you have a pass.
Sierra's movie Sunday.
Thank you. I lost a day.
There is a great panel discussion happening right now called From Paper to Picture, Well-Written Black Girl. I love that. Mm-hmm. Encouraging the creative writing process, whether we're talking about for screen or memoir or all the different ways that Black women should make their voices heard in the written word. There's a film at 2:15 at International House all about the Blacksonian.
Yes, the Black Museum it's called.
Yes.
I'm most excited. We had Nigel on the show before when she's doing Kickstarter. She's here for Gin. Today she's doing at 3 o'clock the making of Gin. It was a panel discussion, and then tomorrow she shows the film that I'm super hyped up for.
We've mentioned Terrence Nance. We've talked to him in
Random Acts of Flyness. So he'll be on the show later, but it premieres this weekend on HBO.
It premieres tonight at midnight on HBO.
Yeah.
So the only people that can get into today's screening and discussion are people who are festival pass holders. There are no individual tickets being sold for tonight's 8 p.m. event. But if you have HBO, midnight tonight, you will get a chance to see it on your home screen.
Right. Now, and every day at Black Star, at 10 a.m. there's yoga. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be up that early, to be planking, but... But I'm excited. Also at 10 o'clock at International House on Saturday, they do the artisan market, so I can re-up on my cocoa butter.
10 to 7. So you go support Black vendors. 6:30 tomorrow, the conversation with Bradford Young and Rashid Shabazz is going to be very popular cinematographers.
Bradford is a genius. He shot Selma. He shot the new Han Solo movie. He shot Pariah. He shot Mother of George. He's a friend of the family, and it'd be great to see him again and imparting his his wisdom and genius. Sunday night is the awards at World Cafe Live. Lady Alma's will be performing there.
Nice. And we got to go.
Yeah, we got to go.
So blackstarfest.org is where you go online to get the full schedule. And at this point, no more festival passes are being sold, so it's only individual tickets. So look at the schedule, pick and choose what you want to go see, and support the festival.
Yeah, don't show up with Blackcoin trying to get in these movies. You need actual real green
You will
money.
be turned away like Mary, Jesus,
Yeah,
and
I'll
Joseph.
take the Blackcoin, but you can't go to Black Star yet. Maybe next year we'll have that hooked up.
And you all have a great weekend. Stay safe. Brother Shamari's up next. Take care.
Whether you're large or you're independent, real black, the Philly film establishment. Quiet, speeding, rolling, action. Making movies in Philly the main attraction. Cut, no, this to end for me. But if I don't see you later, then I see you in the movies.